So I was thinking about the words of Master Suzuki today when he was describing the spiritual mind as one being empty and wide open. And what exactly does that mean to have an empty and wide open mind? And I was contemplating the idea, and I think it's very important actually for programming mind, that we should be very careful about programming our mind. And what is the most effective way of programming mind when we draw generalizations? You know, it's good when you know somebody to remember that there was a time when you didn't think you knew that person. You know, so if you have someone that you don't like, remember there was a time when you didn't know them and you had not decided not to like them. That's an empty and wide open mind, because that person was taken at face value. You were experiencing the moment with them without having a value placed on that moment. You had not yet decided that you didn't care about them or didn't like them or didn't want to be around them. And I've shared that experience that I had one time with that decision. You know, that I walked by somebody who had annoyed me quite a few times in a row, and I heard my mind say, oh, I don't like that person. And when I caught that in my mind, I backed off and remembered that before I made that decision, that person always had a chance to be likable. But after I made the decision that I did not like that person, permanently they were in a hole that they would have to dig themselves out of first before I would reconsider liking them. And that's unnecessary. That's not natural. To have an empty and wide open mind, that is natural and necessary in life, so that we don't program ourselves into these little corners, you know, that cause us difficulty. When we decide we don't like our job, well, then you're stuck with the job you don't like. If you don't like your wife or your husband, then you're stuck with a wife or a husband that you don't like. But if you can manage, and to the degree that you can manage, keep your mind open and free of these generalization judgments. Let's put it that way. Generalized judgments that always give the world a chance. And when you see somebody or see something or experience anything, don't pay so much attention to its effect on you, but rather turn your mind to the nature of the thing itself and focus on that. You know, that way, whether something is annoying at that particular moment won't be the impression that it leaves. Rather, you think more deeply about it, think about its nature, and walk away remembering that and not about its temporary effect. It's a way of establishing ourselves in that unchanging inner self, whose nature is love and wisdom and existence, and not letting the mind cloud that and distort our perception of the divine in the moment by reminding us of unpleasant or even pleasant effects that things have had on us, rather than on learning the nature of the things which is shared with us, that nature of bliss, existence, and wisdom.